They're going to do a program at the library regarding plastic bags. But to energize and get everybody involved, recycling possibly somehow, the importance of recycling. But you know, the library, the Historical Society with their place up at the end of the hill there, and the schoolhouse, the park cleanup committee. The park cleanup committee, I forgot what there's a term for it, but their bus that comes around and cleans up the debris at the streets. Can we contact them to see if they can come Friday? I guess they don't do it on weekends, but to come and be a part of this starting on Friday or Thursday to handle some roads. The community service kids, I believe the Kent Police, I'll be working with Justice Court for kids. Possibly the cadets can help out somehow. The various civic groups, the lake communities, Tibbet Lake, just to energize. Maybe not everybody's going to cooperate, but involve the entire town. I got a couple of emails about Lake Carmel and how come we didn't clean up the streets. Well, it rained that day. And I kept that, I think the 1 or 2 emails, because I'm going back. They're going to clean up a couple of streets. He's offered to do that. Lake Carmel Fire Department, they're explorers. Tidy up, do some things around the place. Encourage residents to clean up in front of their houses. Many of you have driven through Lake Carmel and some of the parts of Kent that could use some help. Maybe it's an elderly person living at home and needs a little help. But I like to try and encourage that, and I've offered to try and help Penny if you need the help. But to make it a town-wide effort. School groups, maybe we can get a couple of school groups in here. I believe there is an environmental science group and some others, and possibly they can earn some credits. I guess they got to get so many credits to work in the communities, and maybe they can help. And let's talk about recycling and the environment. And I know Earth Day we're going to miss, I believe. It's not that day.
Yes, no, it is, April 25th.
Okay, then let's try, you know, and maybe it's, you know, we have the news media here. But this is Kent. And
Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts should get involved.
There you go, you know.
And there are, it's really sad this year because what's wonderful is the snow seems to be pretty much gone, but the garbage that's under the snow is really worse than I think I ever remember it, and I've been here a long time. It's really quite frightful. Route 52 is disgusting. I think if we can get people out, I would love to see community, South Lake community, Lake Ninum, Lake Ninum, Lake Tibet, Seven Hills. Western Kent really needs help with the cleanup because the roads, the sides of the roads are terrible. And this not only is an eyesore, it's an environmental impact on our wildlife. And we all moved here because we enjoyed seeing the wildlife and experiencing nature, and keeping our roads clean is part of that. And it's an important part of that. And every time they open up a fast food restaurant, we seem to get more litter, and it's either D&D or the Big Mac or something, or and you know, you want to see businesses come in, but we need to come to terms with what it does to our roads, because for some reason people can't bring their garbage home with them. They have to drop it on the road, and this mentality has got to be changed. And I think that we need to really start educating people about the effect of garbage on their roads, not only what it looks like, but the long term with our lakes and with our wildlife. It's disgusting. I'm absolutely appalled about it. So anyway, get together, get a neighbor, get a bottle of wine, do whatever you have to do, but get them out there and to help pick up the garbage.
But don't drive after you've had the bottle of wine.
Don't throw the bottle on the side of the road, okay?
Okay.
No, they're gonna walk.
Okay, Putnam County Hazardous Waste Cleanup Day. Well, since we're talking about cleanups, Putnam County will hold a hazardous waste cleanup day on Saturday, May 2nd, 2015, from 9 to 12. Materials will be collected at the Canopus Beach parking lot at Fonstark Park, Route 301 in Kent. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can call the Department of Health at 808-1390, extension 43166. But again, if you have hazardous waste cleanup, that is the place to bring it. Lake Carmel Park District Lifeguard Supervisor.
Yeah, I just, I guess I'll just say that it would be upon my recommendation, and I'm sure Maureen's and the rest of the town board, that we reappoint Andrea McKinney to the supervising lifeguard. I worked with her for the first time last year. She does a fantastic job, and she's the only town employee I see here before 8 a.m. and after 5, drawing up her own signs and doing all sorts of work. She's a dedicated individual, and the district is happy to have her back for a second year. And then once she is installed, hopefully, we will get moving on the rest of the positions.
Right, I'm hoping next time. Okay, great. Bates exclusion from the sewer district. Last meeting, and I think the meeting before, we talked about George and Susan Bates. Their property is on Nichols Street, and I don't even know why it was included in the sewer district. I believe we were all in agreement that her property should be removed, so we have a resolution prepared to accept her. I think we still have to work on the parameters for the other properties and what the implications are, but I think this property
Yeah, I have no problem with this in particular property.
Okay.
But I think we actually really do need to maybe bring our engineer or whatever in and get an idea as to why some of these properties were included in the sewer district. And there was a formula for it. I don't know it. But I think maybe we ought to review that and see what it was that
right, because I think we have
even
to
put
make,
this house on it.
we have to make decisions
We
about
have
the
to.
other properties.
And these are
This
some
one
of the
was-
things that are going to get ironed out.
Yeah,
Just very briefly, while we're talking about the sewer district, I was hoping to have the first committee meeting on April 20th. If there's anything else going on in the town hall, we can use the town board office. It shouldn't be too many people, but the public is welcome. And it would probably be at about 7 o'clock. So I'll work out the details and get with Lana to get it advertised. But my hope is that April 20th, which is a Monday night, there'll be room to do it here.
good. And then you can
Sounds great.
report back on the 21st.
Sounds good.
And are people, and are people who are not in the sewer
Yeah,
district?
if you're not in the committee, and we'll, once the official date and time is set, we'll send it out. But if you're not on the committee, feel free to come. We'll try and accommodate as many people as possible. If this big room is being used at 7 on that date, the town board office should be sufficient because we only have 3 committee members right now. So even if we got 6 or 7 people
Right, even
from the
if
public,
you could use that other room.
So-
too.
Because there might even be some board members that
yeah, everybody's welcome.
to come and see how
Everyone's welcome.
it's going.
Regarding the sewer district, I don't know if it's possible, I don't know if you call it an audit, but I think we need to look at the houses that are in the sewer district. I keep on hearing one-family house, and I thought I got one. It looks like 3 apartments, and it's not listed as a multi-purpose. But things have changed since you planned the sewer 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We also have some vacant properties. I know there was a local business that was getting charged in its vacant property. We need to look at that. But I think it needs to be updated. I don't know if we call the Billy Walters or the engineer, but Penny, I agree with you.
I think we should sit down and go over it.
You might need the inspector there. The Billy Walters, I believe, also handles that side, because you're seeing one-family house, but wait a minute, it looks like 2 or 3 apartments. So things have changed, and I'd like to see this updated, because with the Bates situation raises something, why Bates and not
Sure.
somebody else that was
And-
living on that road.
And we will have a discussion about the exemptions and and with this committee, and at least throw it around and report back next day.
Okay, Highway Department, we have an employee, it's actually within the purview of the highway superintendent to hire within the highway department, but I thought I would just throw this on, just so
I did
that
have-
everybody,
I did have a question.
yes.
Is this the third or the fourth CEO?
This is a position that was left vacant by a transfer from a member.
Okay, so we're okay,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
not
no,
adding
it's not
anything.
creating a
There
position.
was
It's not
one-
creating another job.
Yeah, no, this is not creating a position. It's a position left vacant by somebody leaving to go to Lake Carmel Park District. So,
Well, at least they didn't go to the sheriff's department.
so there
where
was
I'm
an
headed when my term's
internal posting at the highway department, and
He's a good employee. I've seen him working.
he's a very good
Good,
employee.
very good.
So I thought we would just, affirm it to
Absolutely.
make him feel good. Anybody else have any comments? Sue. I see.
Regarding alcohol hazardous waste day,
Yes.
the residents need to call the number and make an appointment for the time that comes up.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And they don't have to dial a whole extension number, they can just realize.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks.
Have that on TV, too?
We'll put that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
All right, if there are no other,
I have a few things. I'm sorry, I'm in the mood. I just want to thank everyone for the get well wishes for my mom, who's lived in this town for over 60 years, and she's recuperating. It was touch and go. Also, Diane O'Brien, one of our clerks here, had surgery, and she's well, and Diane, we wish you the best. And of course, our Michael Tierney. Michael, it's lonely over here. We miss you, and hope you'll be back in the next meeting. A lot of things are going on, and we want you involved. One other thing, we lost a very dedicated resident the other day, and he's part of the recreation and high school sports program, and that's Frank Heitman. His wife worked in the courts, Marge Heitman, and I just, the suffering's over, rest in peace. And I guess my last thing is that I want to encourage everybody to volunteer. The Historical Society's looking for volunteers. They are energized. Historical Society, I'm sure recycling could look for some volunteers, conservation, Mountain Ingham Fire Tower, recreation, get involved. And I got to put one more thing in, Penny. Cleanup day, I'll help rally some people. And it just can't be one or two roads. You mentioned it, the other side, Central, and let's see what we can come up with. But I'm going to start rallying some people, and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Bill.
They're going to need some orange bags once I get finished.
Thanks, good.
Oh, one more thing.
I was going to say the pledge.
Kent Historical Society, 12 noon, County Park, Saturday, April 25th. It's a tour of the lower level of the county park and the Veterans Museum. We got a tour of that, so if you're interested, midday on a Saturday, 12 noon, come on over to the county park. Historical Society's got a whole plan for the next 6 months, and we'll be given more information. Thank you.
Let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Fleming?
Present.
Councilman Denbow?
Present.
Councilwoman Osborne?
I'm here.
Councilman Eustis?
Yes.
And Councilman Tierney is out.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve the playground safety purchase.
I'll second the motion.
I'm just going to read a resolution here. Whereas the Town of Kent Director of Recreation and Parks has requested authorization to purchase up to 100 cubic yards of manufactured safety surfacing to replenish and maintain the playgrounds at Edward Ryan Memorial Park and Eustis Park. a copy of which request is annexed here to and incorporated herein by reference, and whereas in accordance with the town's procurement policy, the town's Director of Recreation and Parks made 3 requests for quotes to supplies of manufactured safety servicing and received 3 written quotes in response to such request, copies of which are annexed hereto and incorporated herein by reference, and whereas Deer River Ranch Incorporated, aka Ziegler Company, has submitted the lowest quote dated March 26, 2015 for $2,678.54 for 100 cubic yards of manufactured safety servicing, and whereas the town board of the town of Kent wished to accept the quote submitted by Deer River Ranch Incorporated, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the purchase of 100 cubic yards of manufactured safety servicing from Deer River Ranch Incorporated to replenish and maintain the playgrounds at Edward Ryan Memorial Park and Eustis Park for the price set forth on the quote annexed here to, and the total amount not to exceed $2,678.54, and be it further resolved, the town supervisors hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all agreements and other documents necessary to give effect to this resolution consistent with the terms hereof, all in form satisfactory to the supervisor and the town attorney.
Second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Recreation Department seasonal personnel hiring.
Do we have to read the names?
Do you want to read the names?
Sure. Brian DiNapoli, Edison Ramon, Ryan Hurdy, Kevin Daly, Anthony Ardizoni, and James Panacidi, which would all be at the minimum wage of $8.75.
Second.
Roll
All in
call.
favor?
Councilman Denbow?
I'm going to vote no, and the reason is because last year we went through the Parks program and we had 5 individuals that seemed to be adequate. I was given no reason why we needed an additional individual except that we should have had 6 last year and we had 5. If the Director of Parks wants an additional individual in the future because at some point it's not working out, I'll be more than willing to hear what he says. So I would encourage the board to vote this down, and then I would make a motion to approve the hiring of 5 individuals. So I vote no.
Councilman,
Are you asking me for my vote? I'm voting yes, and the reason I'm voting yes is because he lost some experienced workers, and he's going to need the manpower. So I'm voting yes.
Councilman Eustis?
I'm going to vote yes, but I look forward to conversations with my colleague to my right concerning recreation and parks. Having managed that for 26 years, there is less travel teams, games, but they do hopefully they're going to continue to do the historic preservation up on the top. We used to mow the lawn and stuff. I know that he's taken a brunt with the experience issue because I know what we had in the past years. So I will vote yes this time, but we're going to be a little more tougher in the future. Yes.
Supervisor Fleming?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I like voting no on my own resolutions. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement with U.S. Sports Institute.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to approve the procedure for reappointment of members of the boards and committees of this town, and I will read a resolution. Whereas the town board of the town of Kent is vested with the authority to appoint certain officers of the town pursuant to town law, section 20, subsection 1, and whereas to assist the town board in appointing the most qualified persons to town offices, the town board wished to establish a policy requiring any person holding an appointed town office to notify the town board of his or her intention to seek reappointment to such office no less than 90 days prior to the expiration of his or her term, and whereas said policy will ensure the town board has adequate time to advertise for any offices that will become vacant at the expiration of the appointed official's term, and to obtain a sufficient applicant pool for which to select and appoint a qualified person to serve in such office. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby adopts a policy requiring all appointed town officers to notify the town board in writing of his or her intention to seek reappointment no less than 90 days prior to the expiration of his or her term of office. And be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You want this whole resolution ready?
No, this is the resolution.
Just this one?
No, that's the contract.
Where's the resolution?
You should have had it in your packet. You had it in your packet. Yeah.
I got it. Okay. I make a motion, I read a resolution for the Town of Kent, County of Putnam, State of New York. Resolution doesn't have a number. Date of consideration, adoption would be today's date, I'm going to presume. Whereas the Town of Kent has received from the Director of Real Property Tax Service of the County of Putnam an agreement entitled Putnam County Real Property Tax Service Contract in the form annexed hereto the contract, whereby the county proposes to provide real property tax related services to the town for the 2015 calendar year as described in the contract, and whereas the town board of the Town of Kent has determined that the contract is in the best interest of the town and desires to enter into the contract, now therefore it be resolved that the town board of the Town of Kent has hereby approves the contract with the County of Putnam in the form annexed hereto, and be it further resolved that the town board of the Town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute the attached contract and any and all other documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make this motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now I have to, I make a motion to accept with regrets the resignation of Matthew J. Kreisky, one of our police officers, who's
Second.
going to the Putnam Sheriff's Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And again, this one is with regrets. I make a motion to accept the resignation of A.J. Barcha, who was a clerk for the building department. I make that motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And I make a motion to approve the hiring of Andrea McKinney as the supervising lifeguard for the Lake Carmel Park District. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to exclude Bates property from the sewer district. I'll read the resolution. Whereas certain property with the street address of 392 Nickel Street, shown on the Town of Kent tax map as Section 33.18, Block 1, Lot 23, the premises has been included in the Town of Kent Route 52 Sewer District, whereas Georgie and Susan Bates, the owners of the premises, have made a request to the Town of Kent Town Board to be excluded from the sewer district, and whereas Section 307 of the Town of Kent Sewer Use Law provides that unless an exemption is granted by the Town Board at such time that a public sewer becomes available to a property and within the time period specified by the Board, a direct connection shall be made to the public sewer. Whereas the Town of Kent Town Board has determined that the premises was erroneously included in the sewer district and wishes to exclude the premises from the sewer district, and whereas the Town of Kent Town Board is without authority to correct any assessments against the premises related to the sewer district, such authority being vested in the town's Board of Assessment Review, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Kent grants an exemption pursuant to Section 307 of the Town of Kent Sewer Use Law, thereby excluding the premises from the sewer district, and be it further resolved that the owners of the premises are encouraged to petition the Town of Kent Board of Assessment Review to amend the assessment relating to the premises to reflect that the premises has been excluded from the sewer district, and be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution in such form as is satisfactory to the town attorney. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the promotion of Pat Esposito from MEO to CEO in the Highway Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to add, I actually had meant to add an item to the meeting, the workshop part, because I don't know if we technically have to take a vote on it. But I make a motion to add an item for discussion regarding issuing a proclamation to the Military Order of the Purple Heart.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I was contacted by the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 21, the Yorktown chapter, and they actually extended an invitation to the town to become a Purple Heart town. I think that would make us the second town in the county to be a Purple Heart town, which I think is a great honor. Putnam County was the first county in New York State to become a Purple Heart county. So I've prepared a proclamation that I would like the board to approve, and then as part of our next town board meeting, members of the order would attend the town board meeting, and we would present them with this proclamation.
Sounds good.
So,
It would be an honor. I
Yeah.
had the, managed the Veterans Home for about 10 years, very successful, and to hear some and talk with the guys and stuff, and this would be a great honor.
yeah, I mean, I was honored that we were asked, so,
I would love to do this.
okay, all right.
Good.
So I've prepared the proclamation. I think it sums up, and we'll do
Yeah, I
that
read
at the
it
next
today.
meeting.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you, Maureen.
No problem. Okay, Bill.
That's it? I'd like to ask approval for the April 7th expenses that are over the threshold. City carting, $43,693.98. LA Carmel garbage. I hope that's correct there. Could be a typo.
Do you know what? It's right in front.
Yeah, it's right here, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's $4,693.
Okay, correct that, $4,693.98. Also, $4,280.20 and $4,211.78. That's the Lake Carmel garbage. Morton salt for the winter for highway, $38,056.92. Auto parts for the National Gear and Piston, $2,015.26. Nycomco, which is the police radios, the two-way radios, $2,622. Recycling garbage, Royal Carting, $3,589.17. The Town of Kent municipal repairs for chargebacks for highway, $21,162.81. For recreation, $3,460.55. And the chargebacks for sanitation, $6,238.04. I ask you to approve these vouchers. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, would anybody like to make any comments?
I move we adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming.